Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a general reading for you. It is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everybody. Just take what resonates for you and leave the rest. It is a timeless reading, so whenever you are drawn to watch it, there should be a message in there somewhere for you. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so I'm feeling quite nervous. So is there something that somebody's worried about? Something that they need to do? I'm just picking up on a nervous energy. Let's see what Spirit's got to say about that. Okay. Yeah, that's confirmation for me that I am picking up on some negative energy. And what Spirit is saying is that you might also be feeling the same, and it might not be your energy. So you need to look at maybe clearing your energy. You might be telepathically or energetically picking up the thoughts and feelings of others. Okay, so you may be an empath. Be very, very mindful about keeping your energy clear and grounded. It says thought vibrations, resonant choices, signature signals. But yeah, I'm just being drawn to the face really, and picking up on the thoughts and feelings of others, and it might not actually be your own, or it might be a case that you're overwhelmed so we're like behind the head is like a globe, it's the world. So you might be picking up, if you're an empath specifically, you are gonna be able to pick up thoughts and feelings of things from other people around the world. So do make sure that you're keeping your energy clear and grounded. I'm also feeling like the world is getting too much. Maybe you don't like what you're seeing and hearing and experiencing the world within the world. And just feel this sense of like overwhelm and this nervousness about something to do with you're not quite sure maybe how something's going to work out. This could be, for some of you, this could be with regards to what's going on in the world, how it's all going to play out. But for a lot of you, this is about your own world. I've just had another message, I'll come back to that in a minute. But for some of you, I think, well, no, I'm going to bring it through now. For those of you who are worrying about what's going on in the world around them, or even if there's a situation in your own world, in your own personal life, the key point is to worry about your inner peace, okay? And then everything else will be reflected. So as within, so without, okay? Look at what's going on either in your physical world or in the world in general, because it's a reflection of something that needs healing within yourself. Okay, when you heal that within yourself, it's going to take some time, but eventually when you have inner peace within, there will be peace without. Okay, so as within, so without, as without, so within. Always bring it back to the self. Something to do with, I keep being drawn to the satellite. There's something to do with satellites. It could be social media. I'm just being drawn to okay, there's something around throat chakra. Okay, I've just had to clear my voice started to go, and I got stuck on my words. Something to do with clearing your throat chakra. So maybe there's something you need to communicate, or there's something you're not communicating. Something about not voicing your opinions. But I don't know if it's clear, but in this little bit of the satellite wing, I suppose, is a little bit of the earth being reflected. So that to me is confirmation of, look at what's going on in your outside world, and look at whatever's going on outside of you, be it people, places, situations, be it in your personal life, be it worldwide, it's all reflecting something back at you that maybe still needs healing, okay? I do feel like some of you are, what's happened is you are empaths and you've taken on too much of other people's stuff as your own, and you're now living that out. So you're living out other people's lives, if that makes sense. On the bottom of the deck we have ancestors, historical connections and purposes. So maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with not knowing your place in the world or within a situation, not knowing where you stand. Something to do with the past. I'm being drawn to historical. Now, historical for me is history, so that's in the past. So I'm being drawn to something, and with ancestors it could be something within the family. Not knowing where you stand within a situation, possibly with family, or something to do with soul family, because I'm being drawn to the like the light beings behind them. Okay, for some of you, I feel like there's a situation where you don't know where you stand with a person that you feel like you have a very good connection with. I'm just hearing hot and cold, hot and cold. So what I'm being asked to say to you is, if you feel like someone's being hot and cold with you, and that's reflecting in your outer world, okay, or in your relationship, your connection with this person, then you need to look at where you are being hot and cold, because that person is reflecting back at you, where you're maybe being hot and cold with yourself. And it could be something as I want to say, as simple as letting the universe know what you want. So if you're not clear with the universe on what it is that you want for your life, you're giving them mixed signals. So you're going to come across people, places and situations that are then going to reflect that back at you. It may be that you were giving this person or situation mixed signals, and you thought they were giving you mixed signals, but actually what you were doing is they were just that person was just reflecting back at you your own, whatever was going on with you internally, okay? I do think that this is potentially linked into a person or situation, because under the Ancestors card we have phase entanglement, emotional influence. So I think for a lot of you, you've got overwhelmed within a situation or a connection with someone because there's been too much gossiping about maybe what's going on in that person's life, but you don't actually, the people involved in that gossip didn't have the actual answers. Unless you specifically spoke to that person, then that person's told you what's going on in their life, you don't actually know. Or maybe that's, for some of you, I think that might be the problem. You don't have control over this person's life anymore. You don't know what's going on with them, and it's creating this conflict within you and this overwhelm. Let's get some clarifiers. Because I feel there's quite a few messages coming through with this one. So take it as it resonates. Yeah, on the bottom of I've just begun to pick up the deck, and the 7 of Wands has been left behind. Someone's put boundaries up. Okay, there's someone in a bubble, not even looking at these 7 swords that are down here trying to get their attention, okay? They're just focusing on their inner peace and keeping their boundaries in place and not even, because sometimes the Seven of Wands can be depicted as fighting, arguing, and I just feel like there's a personal situation where that you're not having access to because they've put boundaries in place. So let's get some more information and see what's coming through. And I think this is creating some anxiety for you. Okay. I feel like there could be a lesson for you here with regards to control. And now that doesn't need to be a negative situation, so please don't come at me. A negative, not situation, a negative, okay, Spirit is saying this situation doesn't have to be negative. Okay, it didn't have to be negative. I think you need to look for the lesson, okay? And I feel like there's a need to release control of this person or this situation and needing to know everything that's going on with them. So we've got Justice, the Empress, Six of Swords and Strength. I feel like you feel that there's a sense of injustice, that you feel like you've done nothing wrong. But at the same time, I feel like you're potentially in a bit of denial because everyone plays a part, okay? And if somebody's cutting you out and not sharing something with you, then there is a reason for that, okay? I do feel this could be because we had on underneath here the Ancestors card some gossiping, okay? As a result of gossiping, I feel potentially that somebody's withdrawn and put boundaries in place. So I don't think anyone's done anything to hurt anyone else intentionally. I think people have just taken a step back and put boundaries in place to protect themselves. So it's an act of self-care. Again, I'm seeing the world in the Empress's tummy. Okay, so there's something that's being birthed, something that's being nurtured. It could just be this person or this situation nurturing itself, working on their own self-care. I'm hearing karma. This could be well, karma is all about lessons. So there is a lesson here, and it wasn't this person trying to punish you. No one was being punished. It was an act of self-care. I would say if you feel like you're being punished or someone's done something, if you feel like someone's punishing you for something, then, or you feel like they're doing it to punish you and they're not doing something for the right reason, you need to look at that within you. Okay? I just keep hearing you need to look within, go within, go within, go within. What is being reflected back at you? There's a need for inner work. I'm hearing like, so I think that maybe you've been in your head about this situation, like you don't feel that it's fair, whilst this person's been out here working on themselves, nurturing themselves, and moving forward with strength. Okay, so maybe you feel like you've done nothing wrong. I'm not going to say you have. I don't know what this situation is for you. But what I am going to say is everybody plays a part. and you only have to take responsibility for your part. You're not responsible for anyone else's actions, behavior, or anything. You're only responsible for your own. So maybe just look at the situation and the role that you played within it. Okay, are you self-punishing? That's, on the other hand, are you self-punishing? And as a result of self-punishment, where are you self-sabotaging and self-punishing? Because that's being reflected back at you. I don't want to invalidate your feelings. If you feel like someone's punishing you, I don't want to invalidate that. But I don't feel like it's the personal situation. I feel like this is about you self-sabotaging and self-punishing. Okay, I think if you work on that, you might see this situation differently. Because I think you don't feel great right now about this situation, whatever it is. And if this is with regards to world, you feel maybe you should be doing more in the world and you're not. Stop punishing you. Whatever you're doing day to day, you're on path, okay? If you're meant to be doing something else, you will do it, okay? And we can only do what we can in the moment with the information that we have, okay? So if you are self-punishing, you need to look at working on releasing any guilt and any shame around your actions. If you are looking back, because we had the historical connections, if you're looking back on the past and realising that you might have made a mistake and you've done something and it's coming back to bite you in the bum, or maybe you could have done more, then you need to stop beating yourself up, because you can only do what you can do with that information that you have at the time. But if you now have new information, you now have a choice to continue doing the same. So if you did something in the past, but you now have new information, you have a choice to make those same inverted commas mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes, only lessons. So you now have a choice to either continue or you move forward with that new information and make different choices. Okay, that is completely up to you. But I do feel that if you can do that, it's going to be tough. But I do feel that if you can do that, it's going to make you stronger. Okay? And I feel like whatever this personal situation is for you, that's what they've done. They've done the work. They've released the judgment. They've taken care of themselves. They've released the self-judgment, the self-punishment, and they've taken steps to move forward. So maybe in the past, if you're feeling punished for somebody putting boundaries in place with you, I would say that maybe they had a lack of boundaries with you. And that's where they're making different choices. I'm not going to say those choices are easy for them and that they're just flowing through this. I don't feel that at all. I do, because the Six of Swords, the water is rocky. You know, it's not smooth sailing. It's tough. But in life, we all have to make tough decisions. And if you can make decisions, the idea is my voice is going, so there is some need for communication. I feel there's a lack of communication, and this is why there's this conflict within, because you don't have all the information. Nobody has all the information, and maybe at the time you didn't have all the information. But I don't think anyone's gone out of their way to hurt anyone. I think everybody in this situation has made choices that they regret, maybe, but you can't live your life in regret, okay? Because then you're not living life. You have to move forward differently. You have to do things differently. If you want okay, so there's a quote, and I can't remember who originally said the quote, but there's a quote that the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you want different results, you have to do something different. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone, and you're going to have to do something different. So if the same thing, this does feel like an endless cycle, which could also be with the world coming through. It could be a cycle that just keeps going and going and going, that people are just getting fed up with. Okay, everyone's getting fed up. I cannot keep doing this cycle. I cannot doing this. I've got to make different choices. I've got to do something different. So when you're making decisions that ultimately bring you peace, that doesn't mean that they're not difficult to start with. But when you know it's the right decision, it's easier to move forward. Does that make sense? As long as you're making decisions that are right for you, but not intentionally going out of your way to upset people and hurt them, then you're not doing anything wrong. If you're putting boundaries in place, or someone is putting boundaries in place with you, and the other person or the other situation doesn't like it, then that's a you problem, okay? Not the person that's put the boundaries in place. If it's a healthy boundary, and if that person is being guided by intuition, and you don't know if it's a healthy boundary or not, only the person that's putting the boundary in place knows why they've put that boundary in place. If it's not a healthy boundary and they haven't done it for the right reasons, then that is their karma. That's not your responsibility. If they've put a healthy boundary in place with you and you're not liking it, you don't have to like it. But if you care about this person, you have to respect it. And ultimately, if it is a healthy boundary, then potentially in the past your actions have led to it. So maybe you were overstepping somewhere. There's something to do with truth and justice, okay? And I'm keep getting the throat chakra come up. So there is something, and potentially there's something around gossiping, okay? And it says emotional influence. So I feel like in the past somebody might have been governed by their emotions and maybe said or done some things that unfortunately are now coming back on them, be it you or be it someone else. And I do feel it's something to do with gossiping, and with this thought vibrations coming back to that, it's listening too much to what other people are saying. So I would just say to you, be mindful about the people that you're surrounding yourself with, okay? On the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Cups, which is about nostalgia, memories. Again, it's about the past, okay? Remembering happy times. So I feel like Spirit is saying to you, you know, did you forget? What did you forget? So maybe you were focused on the lack instead of the gain. Okay, where are we going next? This was only supposed to be a short reading. Okay, this card is moving. The Hanged Man. Ooh, yeah, perspective. You need to change your perspective. If you haven't already, look at things differently. Maybe you were looking at things the wrong way round, and you need to turn it around. I also feel that there's a potential that this situation might be able to be turned around. Okay, I'm going to use this deck today. This deck is called the Soul Truth Self-Awareness. So I feel like we're going to ask Spirit what question you need to be asking yourself today to help you move forward. Okay, so what message do we need to be asking today with regards to this situation to help move forward, please, Spirit? Okay. Okay, who am I ready to forgive? I'll read it. Okay, so who am I ready to forgive? So there is, do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to forgive somebody else? Or do you need forgiveness? Okay. I am not what happens to me. I am who I choose to become. That's what I was sort of what I was trying to say about the past. Your past actions don't define you if you don't repeat them. If you learn the lesson and move forward, then you're not defined by your past, and people won't hold you accountable for your past. But if you're continuing to do the same things that you did in the past, and you're continuing on the same path, then you're not changing. People are not going to see that you've changed. I hope that makes sense. Okay, it is time to let go, forgive, and move onward. Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself? Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom, and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grew and what you learned. Who do you want to become, and how is this resistance holding you from what your soul wants? Today's soul action. So if you're drawn to do this, I would highly recommend it. Write a forgiveness letter. Then practice the I can never pronounce this. Ho'oponopono prayer today while thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Okay? Because ultimately, whether it's so Spirit are asking you, who do you need to forgive? Is it you, or is it this person or the situation? Either way, there's forgiveness that needs to occur, because when there's a lack of forgiveness, that just blocks your blessings. Okay, it blocks your blessings. Forgiveness is for you, not the other person. So forgiving someone isn't for you, and you don't necessarily have to do it verbally. You can just choose to let go of the past. So maybe you need to let go of the past and something that happened in order to move on. But I just feel like there's a need to let go of the past. You need to forgive the past or this situation. Whatever went on in the past, it's done. It's in the past. It's in the past for a reason. The only reason it's going to keep coming up is as everybody continues to do the same thing. Okay, there's nothing going to change if people continue to do the same thing. So you can forgive someone, but that doesn't mean that you have to have them back in your life. So if someone did something to you in the past, you can forgive them, but you don't have to allow them access. Okay, and if you did something to somebody else, again, they can forgive you, but they don't have to have you back into their lives. Okay, no one owes anyone anything. No one is entitled to anything to do with another person or situation. Okay, excuse me. Maybe some communication about the situation and what's gone on. Sitting down and actually talking about it might help to bring in some new information that enables that forgiveness to occur. And like I said, those changes, that there is a potential to turn this situation around. And I'm being drawn to the green. Green is about the heart chakra. It's not about the heart chakra. The heart chakra is green. The heart chakra is to do with forgiveness. Okay, so if you're not forgiving people, or people are not forgiving you, or you're not forgiving yourself, maybe you need to forgive yourself, you're blocking your heart chakra. Okay, so I do feel that Spirit is saying it's really important to let the past go. Okay, we're going to get an affirmation to end on. So affirmations are positive statements about how you want to be, how you want your life to be. Okay, they just help to keep maintain a positive mindset, okay? Yeah, there's a real need to let go of the past, okay? I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. You need to see this person or situation. I'm trying to... It's not... Is that better? Can you see that? Just in case you want a screenshot for later. But there is a need to let go of the situation or the person and how you viewed them. Did you have this person on a pedestal? Did you have them boxed in? Did you or did you have yourself on a pedestal on how you should behave around certain people, places, situations? Were you people pleasing? Okay, were you changing yourself to fit in with other people? There's quite a few different ways this would go. You're going to have to sort of like adapt it, because there's so many different ways this fits in for so many people. But there's just an element of someone had expectations either on themselves or on others about a person or a situation, to do with a person or a situation, or how they thought something would go. Now, when you're trying to manifest something, you really need to let go. Visualize the outcome that you want, visualize what it is, but release attachment to that outcome and accept that it might not come in the way you want it to. So things might not play out how you want them to, but they always play out in a way that they're meant to, okay? But you need to let go of the past. Your shadow wants to heal the past. On the bottom of the deck we have, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. Focus on your inner peace, okay? Just focus on making decisions and taking actions that bring you peace. And I think that's going to help open you up to another perspective, because I feel like this situation isn't being seen for how it really is. You're seeing this person or situation through your own wounds, and not for actually how it is. Like I said, you don't know why someone's done something unless you ask them, so maybe just ask. I feel like you there's this, you want to ask but you're scared of the answer. As someone said to me yesterday, if you don't ask, you don't get. What's the worst they can do is say no, and you're not going to be. And I know it's scary sometimes, but rejection is protection, okay? Rejection is protection. There's something better, okay? So if it's not playing out the way you want it to, it's because there's something better, but you might not be seeing that right now, okay? So Spirit are just saying, have trust and have faith that this situation is going to work out, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a reconciliation. It's going to work out in whatever way is for the highest and the greatest good of everybody involved, and also the world, okay? Because our actions in our own world, in our own little lives, have a knock-on effect for the rest of the world, all right? So just focus on your inner peace and your own healing and forgiving the past. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for you. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey today. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Namaste.